Hello and welcome back to the Kitchen Table Modelers Workshop. My name's Ian and this is my kitchen table where I build all my scale models. It's been quite a while since I last put a video up. I think that was the Revell 148 scale BF110 painted with Vallejo Model Air. And simply I've been very busy at work through the spring and summer of the year doing quite a large training course, which I've thankfully gotten finished now. It's given me a bit more free time to get on with the models and also get back to making some YouTube videos to show you all how I go about making my models. I have managed to get a few built through that time. As you can see in front of me, we've got the Revell 148 scale Bristol Beaufighter TF Mark 10 that I did a review of earlier in the year. I've managed to get that built, although I didn't get a video build done. I still managed to get the kit built and finished. I've got Academy's M551 Sheridan in Gulf War fit out, built and finished. And I've also managed to build Trumpeter's Centauro B1 in 1/35 scale in UN markings, as you can see. What I've also got here behind me is a kit that I've been asked to build for my brother-in-law, and this is the Revell 1/32 HE11. Now it is the H6 version, but we're going to backdate it to an earlier version with the standard Bombay and bombs, rather as the two torpedoes or two large bombs underneath. So that's where I'm at the moment. So we'll quit my waffling, we'll get the camera closer in and we'll show you these kits, and I'll give you a bit of opinion of how I thought they went together and how they finished. Looking first at the Revell 148 Bristol Beaufighter TF Mark 10, I can say it's a fantastic kit. It's had a lot of good reviews and a lot of praise for bringing this particular model ahead in the tooling and the options available to the modeler. It does build up very well into an impressive model. As you can see, it's got fully positionable control surfaces, and it does have detailed engines. You can't really see much of them, which I did think of that in my review, but they're there anyway. And if we flip the kit over, you can see we have got all the flaps posed in the lowered position, which does add a different dimension to the kit if you compare it directly to the old Tamiya offering. However, and I will say however, I am a Tamiya fanboy and I do really like the Tamiya kit, and there is a few advantages of that kit over this kit. First of all, I'd say the build of the Tamiya kit's quicker and easier. It does have a little bit of filling, but so did this kit. Also with the Tamiya kit, the surface detail is of a more defined quality than the Revell. That's not to say Revell isn't good detail, it's very fine, and that's to its detriment. If you really want a panel line wash, or for the panel lines to be more prominent, because they're very fine, then they do tend to fill quite easily with thin layers of paint, and it is only thin layers of paint on my kit. And they struggle to take a heavy wash. However, as you can see with my build, I've managed to get some bleaching in and some post shading, and you can still highlight those panel lines and bring the kit to life to make it look like a weathered and used model. Would I recommend it? For the price point, yes, I would recommend it. It's cheaper than the Tamiya kit, even with the prices of the Tamiya kit coming down on eBay a little bit. It's still cheaper. You can pick this kit up really cheaply. The detail's really good, and it gives you the options that the Tamiya kit doesn't. Bearing in mind the Tamiya kit was first tooled in the early 90s. For its age, it's a fantastic kit. Would I build this kit again? Yes, I would. I've got another one in my stash. Would I build the Tamiya kit again? Yes, I would, in a heartbeat, because it's a brilliant model. So that's where we are with this one. I'll put some more detailed photos of this one up, and I can also put up some photos of a recent Tamiya kit I built in a similar colour. But that's the Revell Bristol Beaufighter TF Mark 10. Moving on from the Revell Beaufighter, then I managed to complete the Academy M551 Sheridan Gulf War light armoured tank. I think it's an airborne reconnaissance vehicle actually, but I don't know, I just really like the kit. Now, this doesn't really compare too much to the new Tamiya kit, although the new Tamiya kit is the earlier Vietnam model. However, this is a quick, easy and interesting build. It's an interesting little tank. How did I find the build? Good, is what I'd say. Not too fiddly, went together real quick. One thing I did do was I changed the barrel to a master barrel, turned aluminium, because I think the actual kit barrel is a little oversized for the kit, and I want to get the late model turn barrel to make it just that little bit more accurate, although there is a little inaccuracy with the rear of the turret and the rear angle on the rear deck of the engine deck of the tank. But I can live with it. It looks like a Sheridan. It is a Sheridan. I'm not a huge rivet counter, although there's plenty on the side of this to count. I just like the tank and wanted to build it. So it's been painted in a homemade mix using Tamiya acrylics. I think they're desert yellow, lightened up slightly with buff, just to get it, the desert yellow, more closer to modern US desert sand. And then, I don't know if you can notice the optics. We've got a green optic here, and then we've got blue for the commander's coupler and the driver's coupler. The vision blocks there are actually reflective flower makers or parcel wrappers tape. It's something I saw on a video on YouTube a long time ago from Norman Lejeau, who uses this technique to do his armour optics, and it works really well and very effective, very easy to do. The stowage on this kit is Tamiya stowage, just to give it a bit more life and to add a bit of colour contrast with the greens against the sand colour. And the aerials I made myself just with a bit of stretch sprue and a little drop of super glue on the top for, I don't know if it's a weight or whatever the Americans have on their antennas, but they all seem to have that sort of round ball on the top of their antennas, so a little super glue to make that up and then paint it up. As I said, the kit went together really well. The most difficult part of the kit was the rubber band tracks. They're very taut, and of course this kit noticeably has sag on them, and they're very difficult to get sag on the rubber band tracks. I've achieved that by super gluing it to the two middle wheels to try and get the impression of sag, and it seems to come out not too bad. And then once you get pigments and a little bit of buff, very highly thin, sprayed down to get that sort of sandy dusty look, I think it looks not too bad. So that's the Academy M551 Sheridan, a brilliant little build for anyone wanting to get into armour modelling. So the final build we're looking at is of the 1/35th scale Trumpeter Centura B1, finished in UN markings. I believe this is the markings that was used on vehicles that were in the Lebanon, and they were of the Spanish contingent of the UN. What can I say about this kit? Well, other as it's a really good kit, it went together very well. it's got really good details out of the box. Now I did actually have the ET Models photo etch detail set for this, but I chose not to use it purely because the kit detail is quite adequate really for a quick build, which is what this was, just to keep the mojo going, do something different from aircraft and keep my hand in with armour. It's difficult to see being finished in white, obviously, and it's difficult for the camera to focus on and get the white balance sorted. But it's got a little bit of mud effects from AK Interactive with their mud wash, light and dark, washed on, watered down with AK's thinners, enamel thinners, and then a little bit of splatter effect on the lower hull, just to give it that driven look but not too muddy. And then a little bit of stippling on the upper hull with mud and a little bit of dark wash to bring out the recessed details on the extra applique armour plates that this kit's got. I've also used, whether it's right or not I don't know, but I've used Tamiya stowage to add a bit of life to the turret bustle at the back. The flag is a kit flag, and I'm not sure if the Spanish Army had similar Bergens to the US Army, but it looks alright. I'm happy enough with that. And then for a bit of variance, then the two turret mounted weapons are actually finished in NATO green, just to add a bit of contrast more than anything else. Bit of detail, bit of interest, and the same with the wing mirrors. You know, they might be knocked off and replaced or taken off to paint, who knows, but it's just something different. And if you look in the gunnery sight, then that's my, can't really see it for the lights, but that's my usual method of using reflective tape, and all the other optics have been finished in Tamiya clear blue, just to give them that armoured look. So, Trumpeter Centuro B1. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I would actually. Anyone wanting to get into armour, it's quite easy to build, it's not too tricky. The photo etch, the trickiest parts on it were these bits of photo etch here, of which you can see I've actually lost a bit in there, so it's supposed to be 3 rungs across the foot peg. But the actual plastic kit itself is really good. It builds up to quite an impressive display model, and it's something unusual. Don't see just too many of these knocking around on the modelling tables, especially in UN colours. It would lend itself really well to a down armour. So yeah, that's the Trumpeter Centura. Would I build another one? Well, actually I would. I've got another one in my stash. So there we go. Now let's take a look at the big build that's coming up. Revell's HE11 in 1/32 scale. So as I said, this kit's being given to me by my brother-in-law to build for him because he doesn't have time and he likes the way I build models. So I said, yeah, I'll give it a go. Now we've actually started this kit, as you can see, probably a couple of years ago. I started it with him, give him a hand, show him how to do stuff and let him get on with it, but he's never had time to do it. So what we have done so far, if we just peel this fuselage apart, is we have got all the resin in for ammunition stowage, radio operator station, and we have also got photo etch, Revell, Edard's photo etch set. So it's basically what you'd get in the big Ed set, but he's bought them separately. You see, there we go, there's the resin ammunition cans for the MG machine guns, for the gondola and the upper turrets. And here is the front cockpit, which I have to say, with the resin accessories, so you've got the two seats and the bombardier's matting, for want of a word, or the front gunners maybe matting to go gunning. You've got the photo etch detail there for the control columns and the pedals, and you've got little bits of photo etch, I think must be matte boxes there. It really does bring this cockpit to life. I mean, it really does. I can't speak highly of it. I can't remember off the top of my head just exactly what company does this photo etch, but I'll find out for when we start the build videos, and I'll be able to put a list in. There's a little bit of photo etch there. So yeah, that's what we've got done so far, and that was probably done about, because I said, a couple of years ago now when we started it. So what else have we got for it? Well, we've got the quick boost resin exhausts that are beautiful, really nice, all hollowed out, cracking design. And we have got the HGW models fabric seatbelts that look fantastic in the box there. If we look through, we have, I've bought the extra decal set for this to backdate it from the H6 model that this kit is to the earlier model that was used in the Battle of Britain. So this is the H and P models. So they're actually quite hard to find. I did find them on a model shop. I can't remember which one again. I'll find that out and put that onto the information when we get the build videos going. But they look really good. And then we've got all these Edard accessories. So this is the wheel wells. And these frets here are the frets for the bombays, which is going to be the next job to do after I finish painting the cockpit and the internals of the aircraft. And then obviously just move on to all the plastic. Some of it's still in its bags, some of it's out of its bags. So yeah, that's where we're at with this build as we see it. I'm hoping to get this started in the next week or so. As I said, painting the internals, which will be fine because it's all ready to go. It's all built up and ready to go. So I'll hopefully get some nice detailed shots of how I go about painting the interior of a large model. I haven't done just too many 1/32 models, but I'm really excited to get on with this one. It's great that it's already started, so I'm kind of ahead of the curve, and I think it might be an interesting build for you guys to watch over as it progresses ahead. So I'll leave that there, and I'll get some detailed photographs just to pop up after this segment. There we have it, guys. That's what I've been doing over this last little while. I haven't been on YouTube. Built a few models, kept the old mojo up, as they say, and also got a fantastic build to bring to you to hopefully show you how I go about building a large-scale model and getting a good level of detail in it and make a good display model. So if you've got any comments, suggestions, questions, then please post them below. I will read them and I will answer them, and I'm going to spend the next few weeks, as I said, detailing the inside of this fuselage and cockpit, making the bomb bay, getting that fitted in, joining the fuselage together, try and get it all together in a video for you, and we'll hopefully see you in a few weeks' time. So until then, happy modelling, guys, take care, and we'll see you soon.